What if I told you there's a woman who gave birth without painkillers, and she described it as quite pleasant? And what if that same 71-year-old Scottish woman, in 2019, walked into hospital for a routine checkup and had injuries she had no idea about? Meet Jo Cameron, who's never needed painkillers. Not for surgery, not when giving childbirth. She has even burned herself cooking and did not notice until she smelled flesh. How is this possible? Well, the answer came from the most unlikely source. Scientists studying our boy cannabis. See, when researchers were trying to figure out how cannabis works, they stumbled onto something massive. They weren't just studying a plant. They discovered an entire system in the human body that nobody knew existed. A system that Jo Cameron's mutation has supercharged. This is called the endocannabinoid system. In 1988, after decades of research restrictions, scientists could finally study how cannabis actually works in the brain. The breakthrough was immediate. They discovered that THC locks into specific receptors in your brain, like a key fitting a lock. These receptors were everywhere, more abundant than any receptor type in our brain. But that raised a mind-bending question. Why would your brain have receptors specifically designed for a plant compound? That's when they noticed that this lock wasn't designed just for a plant. Turns out, your brain makes its own THC and CBD-like compounds. Cannabis just happens to fit the same locks. What we've discovered was a whole biological system nobody knew existed, in every human who's ever lived. Pretty cool. This wasn't just some new age thing. Sea squirts have an endocannabinoid system, so do fish, birds, and mammals. Pretty much everything that has been running the spinal software for the past 600 million years. Your ECS can be found nearly everywhere in your body. It's in your brain, gut, skin, bones, immune cells. It's everywhere. And it controls, well, almost everything. Sleep, appetite, memory, mood, pain, inflammation, temperature, even bone growth. How the hell did we miss this? Well, before getting into that, let's have a quick biology lesson, but a fun one at that. Think of your body as a massive postal service. You've got your postmen and post boxes, and then you've got some bin men to clean up after. The postmen? They're your endocannabinoids, and they've got a message to deliver. They're your body's own version of THC and CBD. Scientists have found loads, but there's the main two. We've got anandamide, which is known as the bliss molecule. This neat little fella is why the runner's high exists. And 2AG? It's like the bodyguard postman. You've hurt yourself? He rocks up with the healing messages. And then you've got your post boxes. These take the endocannabinoids message. These are called receptors. And you've got two main types. You've got CB1 receptors, which are located mainly in your brain, and CB2 receptors, located mainly in your immune system. Here's where it gets a bit mad. Your body doesn't store these postmen. It makes them on demand. Stressed? Bang. Fresh anandamide. Scrape knee? Here comes 2AG. And after delivery? The bin men arrive. Your enzymes that break down everything. Otherwise you'd be feeling the effects forever. This system controls pretty much everything. Pain, mood, sleep, memory. We've been running this system 600 million years. And we only found out about it 36 years ago. So why don't most people know about this? And why wasn't it in your biology textbook? Simple. We discovered it through cannabis research. And for decades, studying cannabis was career suicide. The system that regulates your entire body was hidden because of politics, not science. And here's what gets me. When bad stuff happens to you, like chronic stress at work, eating rubbish food, getting sick, trauma, whatever life dumps on you, it directly messes with your endocannabinoid system. Your natural endocannabinoid levels start dropping or get thrown completely out of whack. And when your endocannabinoid system gets disrupted like that, you feel it. Chronic pain, anxiety, sleepless nights, digestive chaos. Maybe even bigger stuff we're just starting to understand. This isn't just about getting high. It's about understanding the operating system you've been running on. Want to go deeper? The full story's waiting. The science, cover-ups, the people whose lives depend on this knowledge. Time to meet your endocannabinoid system. Properly. Thanks for watching. If you found any of this interesting or just curious to know more about cannabis in general, you can find it at Two Birds, One Stoned. Links in the description. Have a gander. Good luck.